It's Sarah, Myron over my gun collection. I got this one, Sarah, from fighting an alien. Hey, Sarah, the real gun show's over here. Come check him out, huh? When I first started off on Starfield, I thought to delete an outpost, you had to remove every single individual piece one by one. But let me save you some time. We're going to go through what you need to know before you remove an outpost. We're going to find out what happens to your items if you leave them in crates, outside crates, and you delete an outpost. Do you actually get refunded all those resources you put into your outpost? What will happen to all the resources stored at an outpost when you remove it? Do they get transferred back to you or to your ship? What happens? We'll find out. And very simply, how do you delete an outpost? Let's get straight into it. Holy moly, Sarah, where'd the gun show go? Where are my guns? What happened? Now, before you can delete an outpost, obviously you'll have to build an outpost. So for those who just come here, who are just starting out, to build an outpost, you will need to bring up your scanner. This is what this looks like. You hold R down, and that will bring up this, which is basically your beacon for your outpost. This will let you travel to this point. I'll quickly show you what I mean. So if you do build an outpost and say we go straight to the map, you'll see outpost. You'll be able to travel to this point. So as soon as you place that building, you'll be able to travel to that point as a location on your map. So again, you just go to your scanner, hold down R, brings out your outpost. So to place your outpost, you notice down the bottom, you'll have confirm, rotate, and cancel. To rotate, you can just spin it around using your mouse left and right click. And then to place it down, we just hit E. And then you'll notice we'll get the option to build all the other buildings, but we're not going to worry about that just yet. So I'm going to hit escape, and then we're going to walk up to the outpost, and you'll notice you'll have two options. It'll say build, which is E. That will bring up the building menu, and you'll see you can rename your outpost by pressing R. Now, what I didn't notice for quite some time is under rename is remove. So to remove an outpost, you actually have to press and hold R. And then you'll get a confirmation pop-up saying, would you like to remove this outpost? So if you hit yes, this will completely remove your outpost as long as you've met the conditions to do so. And in this case, I have no other buildings, so I can just hit yes. Now that is the very simplest form of removing an outpost. Now we'll move on to the more complicated scenarios. We covered the very basic of removing an outpost, but what about when you want to remove an outpost and it's really well built out? It's the same process, but there are a few extra steps that you need to complete before you can remove your outpost. And we're just going to go through that. So in this example, we have my lovely ship, A-class super hauler, on the platform. Got a bunch of different things, and we wanted to remove this outpost, which also includes a crew member. How do we do it? Okay, so same process. We'll have to head over to our beacon. So we want to go up to here, and again, we see how it says rename, and under that, remove outpost. We're going to hold R. So removing outpost is permanent. Do we want to proceed? We'll hit yes. But we'll have a little box that pops up if we try to remove this outpost. So the first issue is crew members are assigned to this outpost. So what we have to do is we have to remove a crew member from this outpost by unassigning them or assigning them to another outpost. So to do this, you need to go to the main menu, navigate to viewing your ship, and go to crew member. Alternatively, if you're from here, you can just hit H, which will bring up your ship menu. And again, we press C. Okay, so we can currently see that we have Vasco. Vasco is assigned to this outpost because all my other crew are assigned to my ship. Now, if you have a lot of outposts and a lot of different crew, it could be tricky to find out which one's where. At the moment, there is no highlighting indication that will identify them quickly for you. So you just have to be mindful of that. But once you find them, simply need to click on the crew that's assigned, assign them to another outpost, or you can assign them to your ship. In this case, we'll just assign him to my ship. And you can see now he's been updated to Sinbin, which is my ship name. Under that is the planet that we're on. And again, if we changed it, it'll say, if we change it back to the outpost, the name at the top will change back to the outpost name. But in this case, back to the ship. And then we press tab, go out. And just to make sure that's worked, you can press C. Yep, Vasco's on the ship. So we know that we've cleared that requirement. There are no longer any crew member assigned to this outpost. So we should be able to remove it. We'll hit remove. Do we want to remove? Yes. Boom. Everything's gone. So you'll notice that there is still one building left. This building will be removed as soon as we take off. So just to note that. And that is your outpost completely removed. Okay, so we've covered removing an outpost, but what if you want to remove your outpost and your outpost has heaps of resources stored in its outgoing, ingoing, or in its storage containers, and you also have a ton of weapons in showcases in your chest, all that sort of stuff? What will happen to all that gear upon removing your outpost? After lots of testing, there's really only 3 scenarios that you need to worry about when deleting an outpost and you have a ton of stuff stored at that outpost. The reason you need to think about this is because you can end up being massively encumbered, and getting back to your ship can take ages and even be deadly in some cases if you're low on health with no med packs. So it's just something to be mindful of. Where your items get stored after removing your outpost boils down to this question: does my ship have enough capacity to store all the resources? That includes your guns, your helmets, item, mining stuff, resources, everything stored at your outpost. Does your ship have enough capacity to store all of that? Now, it's tricky to find out what is stored at an outpost in its totality between your weapons, resources. I wouldn't recommend trying to actually figure out how much space you have, but we're just going to go through the 3 scenarios just to make it a bit clearer about what happens and where things go when you remove your outpost. If your ship does have enough space, everything simply just gets transferred over to your ship, and it's bing, bada, boom. You can fly away and forget that you ever had that outpost. And that's scenario 1, the simple scenario. Everything just goes to your ship, no worries. In scenario 2, your ship is maxed out on storage. You have personal inventory space, or you're maxed out or even above your personal inventory limits. What happens then? Well, in that scenario, where your ship is maxed out, all the items will get sent to your personal inventory. And a little bit will get sent to your ship inventory, even if it is already maxed out. It can exceed the max limit by a little bit, but it won't do it a lot. Everything primarily will just get sent to your personal inventory if your ship inventory is full. So again, scenario 2, ship inventory maxed out. You remove your outpost, all that stuff's going to get sent to your personal inventory. So you can end up massively encumbered. So just be mindful of that. And then scenario 3, it's a bit of a half-half. Your ship has some room for some of the items. Your personal inventory has space or is maxed out, doesn't matter. You remove your outpost, some of those items, resources, helmets, guns, all that stuff, some of that will get sent to your ship to its max and a little bit, but doesn't exceed it by much, maybe a couple hundred spaces. Then the remainder will get sent to your own personal inventory. So those are the 3 scenarios you need to kind of be mindful of. But basically the best case scenario is you have enough space on your ship to store everything. Okay, so what about the scenario if you just throw everything on the ground inside a building and then go remove your outpost? I don't suggest this, because if you leave shit just hanging around, lying around on the ground in your outpost, and you remove your outpost, all those items won't get deleted. They will stay, but they'll just fall to the ground. So that's just something to note. Not that anyone's really going to do that, but just in case. And finally, you actually get refunded all the resources you've used to build an outpost when you remove it. So to test this, we're going to build an outpost. We're going to build a couch graveyard, and we can easily keep track of all the resources that we've used. We've built all these couches, the couch graveyard. Now we're going to fly to another solar system, to another galaxy, and then we're going to come back. We're going to remove this outpost, and then we're going to build another outpost, and we'll be able to see straight away. We go to the couches, see how much resource we have. So here's a before and after. So we clearly keep all our resources when we remove an outpost. So keep that in mind, that you're going to get, when you remove an outpost, you're going to get everything that you've mined, everything you've stored, and all the resources you've used to construct that your outpost. And so that really does kind of cover everything you need to know when you remove an outpost. Now, please, if you did get anything out of this, consider subscribing and liking this video. Appreciate it. And if you want some more content, or you want something done on something specific, let me know. And let me know what you think of Starfield. It's been awesome. I can't get enough of it. Absolutely obsessed with this game. But yeah, peace out. Thanks very much. Catch you next time. Your right hook is like a loaded umbrella. I'll never slap your butt again. Holy moly. Damn, girl, you're strong. Don't worry, Sarah, I'll save you. Come on now, don't be like that. I was just helping. Yeah, I got my eyes closed, not looking, definitely not looking. Ah, Sarah, toilets are over here, Sarah. Yeah, I know it's gross, but you just got to go sometimes, okay? I'll close the door. I'll wait outside. Oh, Sarah, oh my God. That is